Hello friends, I welcome all of you to the SYBSc Physics Laboratory. Today I shall be teaching you the practical on resolving power of telescope. We have studied the resolving power of optical instruments in the last semester. You know how to define the resolving power. It is the ability of the optical instrument to give you two separate images of two objects which are very close to one another. Today we shall be doing this practical to measure the resolving power of telescope. Now the apparatus that is required for this practical is a sodium source as it has been shown here, a wire gauze or a mesh as it has been shown here, a telescope as it has been shown here, and the auxiliary slit as it has been shown here. Now this is the auxiliary slit which you shall be using in this experiment, and therefore you need to find out the least count of this auxiliary slit first. If you will see closely, there is a main scale here in the auxiliary slit and there is a vernier scale here. The formula for the least count is the value of one division on the main scale divided by the total number of divisions on the vernier. If you will see the main scale, it is marked from 0 to 5. Actually it is 0.5 centimeter, and therefore the one division of main scale has a value of 0.1 centimeter, and there are 50 divisions on the vernier as you can see here. So it will be 0.1 divided by 50. That will give you the least count of the auxiliary slit. Now to begin with, first of all, what you have to do is you have to focus the wire mesh in this telescope, or rather you have to focus the wire mesh in the telescope of a travelling microscope. You have to focus the wire mesh in a travelling microscope. Once you have focused the wire mesh in the travelling microscope, the first thing that you need to do is you need to measure the gauze element of this mesh. So when you have focused the wire mesh in a travelling microscope, you will have to put the vertical wire of the cross wire of the travelling microscope on any one vertical wire of this mesh that you have focused, and take the reading in the travelling microscope for the first wire, vertical wire of the mesh. You can start from any wire, call that the first vertical wire. Take the reading in the scale of the travelling microscope. Then move to the second, the next one, either on the left or on the right, with the fine adjustment screw on the travelling microscope, and take that reading to be the second. Move to the third vertical wire, take the reading. Move to the fourth vertical wire and take the reading. I hope you understand. You have to take 4 readings. Start from any one vertical wire, take 1, 2, 3 and 4 consecutive vertical wires. Okay, readings for 4 consecutive vertical wires. Then continue to move the telescope of your travelling microscope in the same direction to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10th vertical wire, but do not take the readings. When you reach the 11th vertical wire of this mesh in the travelling microscope, again take the reading on the same scale. Take the reading for the 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. And then as shown in your observation table, you have to find out the mesh element or the gauze element of this mesh. Once you have found the gauze element of this mesh, you have to put this mesh as close to the sodium source as possible, and you have to put the telescope roughly at a distance of 100 centimeters from the mesh. As you can see, the telescope is to be put roughly at a distance of 100 centimeters from the mesh. After measuring this distance, you have to mount the auxiliary slit so that it remains vertical on the telescope. You have to mount the auxiliary slit on the telescope. And then bring your eye to the eyepiece of the telescope and look inside and focus the mesh. When you focus the mesh, you will have to keep the auxiliary slit open so that you can clearly see the mesh. You will have to keep the auxiliary slit open, and when you will focus the mesh with the help of the focusing screw in the telescope, you will observe the mesh very clearly. Once you have observed the mesh very clearly, you now have to start closing the auxiliary slit. So you start closing the auxiliary slit and at the same time keep looking through the telescope. As you will start closing the auxiliary slit, you will reach a time when you will see that the vertical wires of the mesh or the horizontal wires, depending upon how you have oriented the slit. So vertical wires or the horizontal wires will start fading. If you have kept the slit, auxiliary slit, to be horizontal, then the horizontal wires will fade. If you have kept the auxiliary slit in a vertical position, the vertical wires will fade. You start closing the slit until the vertical wires of the mesh just disappears from your view inside the telescope. That means you can no longer see the vertical wires of the mesh, you can only see the horizontal wires of the mesh. When you have reached such a position where the vertical wires have just disappeared, remember you have to stop when they just disappear. That is when you can no longer differentiate between the vertical wires. You can no longer be able to differentiate one from another. You can no longer be able to see them clearly. That is the time when they have just disappeared. So when they have just disappeared, you stop moving the auxiliary slit and note down the width of the auxiliary slit by taking the reading on the main scale as well as that on the vernier scale. That will give you the width of the auxiliary slit that was required to disappear the vertical wires for one particular distance of the wire mesh from the telescope. You have to repeat this procedure for two another distances, which you can take somewhere close to 100, either 60, 80 and 100 or 80, 100 and 120. You can take three different distances between the wire gauze and the mesh. Every time you have to open the auxiliary slit first, see the mesh clearly from the eyepiece of the telescope, and then start closing with the help of this screw, start closing the auxiliary slit with the help of this screw until the vertical wires just disappear, and as soon as they just disappear, you have to stop and take the reading of the main scale and the vernier scale, which will give you the measurement of the width of the auxiliary slit. The rest of it is the calculation which is shown in the PPT. Thank you.